Alright guys, today we're going to take a look at trigonometry. Alright, just like before, there's a very important fact that you need to know, and that is you only use it with right triangles. You only use it with right triangles. Alright, so say it with me. Trigonometry, you only use with right triangles. Alright, again, that box means that it's a right angle, which is equal to 90 degrees. Alright, just same as before, there are going to be 5 steps in order to solve any problem that you get. Number 1 is going to be draw your triangle. So just like before, draw your triangle. This is going to be very important, especially in the EOC type questions. Step number 2, label triangle using O, A, and H. Label triangle using O, A, and H. And I'm going to talk about what O, A, and H is. So right here on number 2, we're just going to explain. O means opposite the angle. The angle given, but not the 90-degree angle. So it's opposite the angle given, but not the 90-degree angle. Okay? And you're going to know what that is as soon as you start labeling triangles. All right. H, you already know what H means. It means hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. All right. Hypotenuse. And that's always the longest side. And where is that? Opposite the 90-degree angle. And then finally, A means adjacent. A-D-J-A-C-E-N-T. Adjacent. Okay. And the way you're going to find adjacent is going to be 2 things. We already know adjacent means right next to. All right. So we can write down right next to. All right. Right next to the angle. But again, not the one that's 90. Right next to the angle, or really it's what's left over, or left over from H and O. All right, so you could either say it's right next to the angle, but not the 90, or it's what's left over from H and O. And we're going to take a look at some examples so that you can know what this is. So we're still going to do 5 steps. I'm going to take a break real quick and show you a couple of examples. All right, so over here, examples. All right, and here is a triangle, a right triangle, because remember you can only do this on triangles. Let's say, so the 90 is always going to be given, but they're always going to give you one more angle. So let's say that they gave you this angle here. All right. O is always opposite the angle given, but not the 90. So the angle that's given is right here. So you're going to go opposite that, and that's going to be O. All right. Do you think you could label what H is? Sure thing. You're going to go opposite that, and that's H. And whatever is left over, so the only thing that's left over is A. Or you need to see that it's right next to the angle, but not H. Okay, it's right next to the angle, but not H. So this is going to be A. All right, let's see if I can give you one where you do yourself. All right, so example 2. Here's a 90. Let's say this time they give you this angle. All right, label O, A, and H. Okay. Remember, O is directly opposite the angle given. So we're going to go opposite. That's O. H is always opposite the 90. That's H. And again, A is always what's left over. A. All right, so those are how you label the triangle using O and H. All right, so back to our 5 steps. Step number 3 is going to be, you need to know this. Okay, so the way I remember it, I think they're going to give it in a reference sheet, but just in case they don't give it to you, it's SOHCAHTOA, but the way I remember it is 3T, old A, angels, 3 old angels, then sitting, S, on, O, high, H, chatting, C, about, A, heaven. 3 old angels sitting on high, chatting about heaven. All right, so let's say this together. 3 old angels sitting on high, chatting about heaven. Say it one more time. 3 old angels sitting on high, chatting about heaven. All right, so you're going to hear SOHCAHTOA a lot more than you'll hear 3 old angels. That's because 3 old angels is how I learned it in high school. But here in the States, of course, it's going to be SOHCAHTOA. Okay, 3 old angels sitting on high, chatting about heaven. All right, so 3 is SOHCAHTOA. And underline what you need. Underline what you need. Now, let me explain to you what SOHCAHTOA means, okay? SOHCAHTOA is an abbreviation for you to understand or for you to remember the formulas. And the formulas go sine of the angle, so whatever angle it is, I'm going to use theta, equals opposite, O, opposite over hypotenuse. Sine of the angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. This one is cosine of the angle equals, A means what again? Adjacent. Just write ADJ over hypotenuse. This one is tan of the angle equals O, which is opposite over adjacent. All right, so SOHCAHTOA is the way to remember these formulas. All right, so that's going to be number 3. And again, don't worry about this right now because obviously as we go, we're going to be able to do all 5 steps. All right, so that's going to be step number 3. Step number 4 is going to be substitute or plug in. Let's do plug in. Plug in values, or should I say numbers? Plug in numbers. And then step number 5 is going to be solve it. Okay, so there are going to be 5 steps to solving these equations. It's going to get really, really complex, but if you can follow these 5 steps, you're going to be okay. Biggest thing is going to be labeling the triangle. After we know how to label the triangle, we're going to move into using the formulas. After we understand how to use the formulas, plug them into the calculator, these questions are going to be really, really, really simple. But in terms of your notes, this is going to be all that you need for right now. All we're going to do is practice labeling the triangle, then move on to using the formula.